defenders.
I think it's like.
Emergency stream business, Arsenal business, Arsenal therapy. It can't just be emergency streams in good times. Now, obviously, we just keep on winning and winning and winning and winning. And when we beat Chelsea, a bit like when we battered Manchester City last season, the sentiment comes in between how we kind of play football. Obviously, the Brighton manager's having a bit of a hissy fit, cry more. We're definitely going to get into that. I'm going live with Jessica Black. She knows Arsenal at 4:30. So we have to kind of run through this. And for me, it's the double standards, man. But we're going to go over everything. But as I would say always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night, Arsenal fans. 1-0 to the Arsenal's a famous chant for a reason. We did that against Brighton. Now, obviously, in terms of how we want to play football, how we want to, we do dominate teams. Not yesterday, but the majority of the game is spent in the opposition's half. We've statistically up there for possession, up there for touches in the up box, up there for goals from set pieces and goals in general, and all of those kind of things. But in terms of attacking play, obviously the broader landscape of football wants to see that. But as an Arsenal fan, of course, we need to do that. Our issues have been in attack. Our defense is still carrying. Saka got a goal. Big him up for getting the goal. Shout out to him on his 300 appearances for Arsenal and captaining us. Our boy is, he's getting older, bit in it. Come all the way from the academy and look where he is now. Another game on the spin. The defenders are the ones, and David Raya, that will be praising. Now, generally, but we did score early, and big us up for the holding that lead. But scoring more goals, putting games to bed, all of the things we moan about as Arsenal fans, or have been moaning last season and this season up until this point, are pliable. I give the team a bit of a tax, if I'm honest with you, because this was such a quick turnaround after the Chelsea game. I was just on the thing of just get the result, just get the 3 points, which they did. We go home, keep it moving. The only bad thing you can say about this is, obviously, in a week after, in the talking points after Chelsea, it's all about set pieces. Obviously, we had to live dangerously yesterday, and that's going to happen. We're tired. Every midweek game, you can see whether teams are competing in Europe or whatever they're doing. Everybody look tired. It's about the result. Winning ugly is a mark of champions, all of that kind of jazz, people. So we did what we needed to do. Again, I need to ask you, look, did you believe the league was gone after Wolves? Because if you did, you can't believe it's a foregone conclusion against Manchester City. Yes, on paper, they have a game in hand. They need to put the points on the board. We have a 7-point gap that could potentially, provided we do what we need to do against Everton, and that scares me, David Moyes against Arteta, but provided we do what we need to do in that game, at least temporarily, before City kick a ball again in the Premier League, we could be 10 points clear. But when you look at it, 7 points, they've got a game in hand. If they win that, potentially if they beat us at the Emirates, doesn't it? Well, at the Etihad, apologies. Doesn't that mean it's a 1-point lead? So as I was saying, if you thought the league was done against Wolves or at any point, you can't think it's wrapped up now. Until it's mathematically impossible for any team, excluding Arsenal Football Club, to win this Premier League trophy. Left foot in front of the right. Enjoy yesterday. Give players a bit of time off against Mansfield in the FA Cup. Focus on the Leverkusen game, and you know what we need to do in the Everton game, and etc. etc. I do feel I'm less nervous with Arsenal and Arsenal fans and stuff away from home at the Emirates. I think you could cut the tension with a knife, innit? But yeah, man, big up Nottingham Forest. They donated kits when we started out as a club, and they did us a favor. Big up Elliot Anderson, who, big up Classic Gooner. I do see a comment. He's being linked with us. I promise you we're going to go over that. I'd have him at Arsenal and Gibbs White. I'd have a lot of players in it, but yeah, man. And to be fair, both teams are quite even. Like, we know City are the big bad bullies, but the fragilities in their play against Forest were shown, but we've known that this season, and the same goes for us, people. So it's a fairly even fight, but we just have to keep going, people. What do you lot make of Bukayo Saka's comments here? This feels like a massive win. Obviously, on the pitch, we didn't know the Man City score, but we heard the fans celebrating out of nowhere. So I kind of knew in my head something went well in the other game, but we were focused on here and got the result, which you obviously want to do. And I wonder what the reverse was said at the Etihad. Now, they can't fill out seats, so there probably wasn't Well, in fact, if there's two people in the ground, you're probably more likely to hear them, but you get the point. Sing with me now, 1-0 to the Arsenal. Lion, you're right, 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's a famous chant, man. Boring, boring Arsenal. And all those cliches. Football's a 90-minute game, all that kind of jazz. I think if you really, all these people saying the game's ruined, I agree and disagree. I disagree because anyone can beat anyone. Everyone's got a good manager with high technical players. But, no matter who you play, every game kind of is a final. The margins for error in the Premier League, all right, they're smallest. You saw it against current title holders, Liverpool, and obviously Wolves. And, scouting, everything like that is even. But in terms of, entertainment, there isn't necessarily that. If you were to look at entertaining games in the Premier League and look at high scoring, we're up there, other people are not. But this is what I mean. People don't really care about that. If you look, if everybody takes off, you're an Arsenal fan, if you take off your Arsenal cap, Man United, Chelsea, whatever team, and you're looking at football in its purest level, the ball is in play less. There's more emphasis on set pieces. Every manager micromanages every situation. It's a bit NFL-y, stop-starty and things. And that's just where we're at. So you have to adapt and ride this wave until we move into a next wave of football. Maybe there's a bit of a reset because they're still inverted fullbacks and whatnot. But it feels like that's kind of there's less emphasis on that, if it makes sense. And even on the topic of real football, I very much doubt Manchester City and Pep Guardiola care about that. If Pep Guardiola's City, who bullied up this league, made it boring, then what have Arsenal gotten for half of these guys, specifically about my football club, Arsenal? We ain't won nothing, but your entertainment was us getting bullied and cricket scores and all the top 6 games being a write-off and certain promoted teams that are a bit being a write-off. But fuck your entertainment. No one don't care about your entertainment. Arsenal fans, we don't even want entertainment. Get this over the line. Next season, we aspire to win a Premier League. Yeah, I want to see these players, especially our attackers, go up the gears, playing great football. All of that kind of jazz, man. Appreciate you. So it's all jazz, but that's interesting. And for me, people, I have been online today. I've been looking at when the parade is for Arsenal Football Club. If we do this, I've just been in good moods. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. We've got to go out and do that. But I've been thinking, it's the 25th of May. City Splash is there as well. Parade and a concert. It's all amazing stuff per se, people. And you know what? A week is a long time in football, but yeah, man, we was a bit down in the dumps against Brentford, obviously dropping points from a winning position, and Wolves the same now. We cannot go back in time, but you do have that feeling of what if you took more points, and not even just them, potentially if you held on for a point, Aston Villa away, all 3 points Sunderland, if we approached the second half like we did in the second half against Manchester City at the Emirates, the 2 games against Liverpool, more so at Anfield, could have knocked a point. Where could we have been? Now, that's neither here nor there. My point is, a week's a long time in football. We knew we was going to win the North London derby, nervy moments and living dangerously against Chelsea. That game was marred by set pieces. Like all the defenders, yeah, there was a couple chances for other teams, both teams, to score from open play. But we looked the most scared when Reece James was on the ball and putting balls into the box. Obviously, Hincapié had a good game and scored an own goal. Our defenders also scored. It was summed up by set pieces. That's not on Chelsea. That's not on Arsenal. Well, to a degree it is, but that just tells you the climate that we're in. But yeah, we dealt with it. As I said, when I talk about attacking football and all of the areas of improvement for Arsenal that I feel I've been waffling about since at the very earliest, to not go speak about last season from August, it's not going to change now, innit? It really isn't going to change. Like, we just need to get this over the line. 7 more wins, you've got this trophy. Easier said than done, I know. But I do give the team a bit of for what I've been talking about all season, I do provide them a bit of a discount against Brighton. I said that on TalkSport before a ball was kicked. I was like, today, yeah, I can cherry pick that, all those kind of things. I just want the 3 points. I just want the 3 points because it's a quick turnaround. It's a slugfest. Just get the job done and get out of there, which by hook or by crook we did. I promise you, we are going to get onto the Brighton manager in just a moment. But what I would say to him off the bat, control the controllables. Because we paid you a respect if we're sitting back, but your keeper effed up for Saka's goal. Your players are hitting each other when they're having opportunities. Your guy, could just be. I think we scored early with Saka. You could have scored 2 minutes into the game, and Raya had a good game, but capitalize on that. Control the controllables. This is all the things I'd be saying to Arsenal. I promise you, we're going to get on the Brighton gaffer, people. We're going to get on the Brighton gaffer. Mods, please make sure we're smashing the like button and all of that kind of stuff. We've got a lot to discuss. But as I said, 6 points on the board, or 9. You lot that follow me on a regular basis know I wanted beyond the obvious. I felt for me to feel comfortable that we're salvaging this Prem, I needed 9 points, people. I was nervous about Chelsea, and I still think them nerves proved right because it weren't plain sailing. 3 points on the board. You know, Chelsea ain't beat us in how long? North London derby, capitalised on the shit side, got the 3 points, got out of there. Brighton, clean sheet, 3 points, got out of there. Mansfield, as much as we can rest, because I don't know for, well, Kai's back, but I don't know for Ben White, don't know for Saliba, don't know for Odegaard. We don't really know for the physical conditioning of any player in our team, much less the whole league. Whether your team's competing in 4 comps like us or playing in the Prem, or at that time of the season where people are tired, where people are have injuries, and you need to, you know, manage them accordingly. Where people are playing with little niggling and knocks and probably having to take painkillers to just keep ticking over and things of that ilk. But as much as we can, rest and rotate, and obviously respect Mansfield Town and the opposition. That's the day off, innit? Wednesday, I don't need to tell you lot why we need to beat Leipzig. Apologies. Definitely not Leipzig. We're not playing them. Leverkusen, do what needs to be done. I am a bit nervous for Everton. I don't want to be a downer, people, but I do expect to draw. I don't know why. I prefer to play away from home, man. I do think maybe it's because the players and the fans were all anxious to get us over this line. I don't really feel that's the case at the Emirates, or if it is, it's more on the players and what's going on in the game sort of thing. But you could caveat that and say, make your home form count, people. And actually, in fact, with that, you know, that's our last Premier League game of the month in March. And then, you know, you got to deal with the business in the 2 champs, the second leg. I don't need to tell you about the cup final. No games are written, no games are given, in it, because the games that we struggled in, maybe on paper, were the games we thought we'd struggle in. But 9 times out of 10, they were the games that we should be maneuvering. Wolves twice, when we beat Wolves at the Emirates, and when we obviously dropped points away from home. That was one of them, people. So yeah. What you lot saying? We're gonna crack on, and I got Jess at 4:30. People, smash the like button. I'll be back in a second. My ring doorbell's gone off. Perfect timing. I hope it's the Brighton manager saying sorry. Give me 30 seconds, folks. Told you, give me 30 seconds, folks, and I'll be back. Smash the like button. How are we feeling about the game? Sorry, people, this package is massive. I've just got to place it somewhere saying, obviously, don't drop. I don't want you lot to hear no big kaboom. If you must know, it's a couple of tracksuits, people. I've been waiting for this and some trainers. I don't think I'm going to wear the track. I'm a bit weird when I buy new clothes, completely off topic. I'll leave them for like a year or so and not utilize them. But yeah, staying on task, people. Shift happens. There's no point looking at these games on paper. Like, I'm sure some of you, 1-2 games are a bit favorable. I really want to win at the Etihad. You know, we didn't win at Anfield. I want to win at the Etihad for that reason. And obviously, in line of what's going on, West Ham, Burnley are fighting for their lives. Hopefully, it's wrapped up by Crystal Palace, but that could be the last hoorah for Glasgow. Newcastle, you saw them against Man United. Granted, they ain't been the Newcastle they've been this season, but you get where I'm going. Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford, when you buck these kind of teams, they sum up why we kind of like the Premier League beyond the obvious, people. Beyond the obvious, because they make it difficult. Hürzeler, I can't say his name was right. Stop being a moron. Was he right? Yeah. If he can be, he's allowed his opinion. I'm allowed mine. As I said, I rate his footballing IQ. He's obviously at 33 years of age. He's doing great as a manager. He's gonna go on and do big things. He's probably young and naive. I will never play like that. I'm a moron. Yeah. Cool. I promise you we're going to get to that. If I'm a moron, fair enough. I'll take that. But what I won't be is a grown man or a grown woman chatting shit on the YouTube comments. Hi to your baby mom. But pause that thought. I'm getting into flow, people. Big up American Gooner. Don't block my man, by the way. Big up American Gooner. We need to win 5 of the last 6 to secure the Premier League. Yeah, man. I don't know, man, because I do think we're going to drop points. I do think City are going to drop points. A part of me is kind of hoping this kind of period, you know, obviously the FA Cup game's a bit irrelevant to a degree for City. A part of me is hoping around this. Like, obviously, I don't really care what they do in the Champions League, but this week, well, assuming we fast forward to the 14th of March, hopefully they could lose. Like, not take a point, lose. Like, if they can lose and we can win, then I'm starting to think, oh, all right, okay. And then I'm looking at my boys like, keep your bottle in it. Deal with what you need to do in the second leg. Obviously, win the cup final. Do what needs to be done. But I think there's many twists and turns. No. Telwood. He said, stop being a moron. And you know what's so mad about stop being a moron? This is how I know that individual doesn't have higher level thinking. You have to judge life on how do I put this in words? Everything you know could be a lie. There's no rights and wrongs in life, you know. Everything is subjective. And football mirrors society. Everything's subjective. You could get Pep Guardiola, Arsene Wenger, what Pep thinks is the most important thing as a manager. Wenger, two household names. Wenger could think is the least important. You can't tell anyone who's right or who's wrong. It's subjective. That's confirmation bias and an echo chamber. But I'm moving like Busquets. Let's calm it down, man. Smash the like button. Keep your thoughts coming. We're going to go back to my man, the Brighton gaffer people. I did see this from White Yardy. Our media, Arsenal bottle jobs, Arsenal bullies, only score from set pieces, which they shut up about that and start clamoring about it whenever it happens again, even though we're up there for open play, set pieces, touches in the up box, which kind of tells a story as to how you win corners. You know, statistically got the highest line, statistically up there for possession, statistically play the game in you lot's half. Do I think we're perfect? No. Football is media at this moment in time. It's NFL-y. We can't be alone in this, because if Arsenal were in football, there's 20 teams in the league, right? 19 other teams. What's going on? Who knows? You'd be an idiot not to adapt, not to be solid off the ball. It feels everything in football is focused at the moment towards what you do when you don't have possession. Obviously, the one thing that will never change about the game is you need to go from one end to the other, the ball's round, etc., people. But yeah, man, let's keep it going. So yeah, and again, some of these tabs will be utilized for jest, but if you didn't know, we have created a record for scoring from 16 corners. Now, let's get into the Brighton gaffer. I'm a moron. Maybe I am. Who knows? Who cares? Opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. It wouldn't be the first or the last time. But let's recap. The Brighton gaffer said, there was only one team who tried to play football today. I will never be that kind of manager who tries to win in that way. Is that right? And again, you're going to go and do great stuff. I actually rate his ethos, all those kind of things. You're 33, managing in the Premier League. I cannot rate you enough. But you're younger than Arteta. And I still think Arteta shows naiveties. Do you know how naive you're being? Because at some point, you're going to have to adapt to your surroundings. You could want to play as much beautiful football. And I wish we could see football what we used to, even though set pieces ain't gone anywhere. You're very naive, and you won't be in that job long if you don't look at the climate where there's a focus on set pieces and things. I don't even need to tell. Do you think I give a monkeys about this Brighton gaff? Remember when the penalty went against Saliba? But you know me, when I get in full flow, I'm going from Busquets to Martinelli now, and we're gonna get a Google Doc sheet. I'm a moron. Maybe he's right, but that's what my man said, right? That is what my man said. He slammed us also for our time wasting against Brighton, but the ball was but their ball in the play time is above average this season. So we actually have the ball statistically in play a lot more. So what is he right about, you dickhead? But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. What is he right about? What is he right about? What is he right about, Mr. Confirmation Bias, Echo Chamber? What is he right about? Because so far, you can't do any of that. Anyways, people. And again, right, there's wrong. That's all subjective. When things work for you, great. When things work against you, hold that. Because he said, I'll never be that manager who tries to win in that way. Hypocritical, because we all remember the red cards and the 2 yellows for Declan Rice, where he shot the ball away. And he said, if Arsenal think otherwise, there are now 2 opinions, which is true. But then, if you remember in that game, I was at the game. João Pedro did the same thing. You cannot compare the 2 situations. Please don't compare the 2 situations. So again, it worked for me. It didn't work for him. But we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Google Doc sheet is coming out very soon, people. But big up this Mr. Sam Cunningham. When you look at Arsenal in the Premier League, we're joint top for average goals scored, 2 per game, top for touches in the up box, second for possession, 1 in the final third, on top of all the other things I ruled off, third for shots on target, and top for goals conceded. If we need to play better, what the hell does everybody else need to do? And this is just a British thing. I can't talk for Spain and whatnot. There might be a greater emphasis, not just in the Premier League, but across the world in terms of set pieces and things. And to be honest with you, if you're a European side, you got to play your own ethos. But if you're in the Conference League, Europa League, Premier League, especially where we're getting 5 and maybe even potentially 6 teams, you probably might have to do a bit of homework on defending set pieces and maybe exploiting them off your own back, people. Bearing in mind, when Atletico were doing this, great stuff. But we are not done yet, man. I'm a moron. So if we need to improve, I think everybody does. And again, he's right, is he? He's right, is he? He's right. One set. He's right, is he? He's right, is he? Okay. Big up Ryan Taylor. Arsenal averaged 31.4 seconds per restart against Brighton. Brighton averaged 26.5 seconds per restart this season. That's them in general. But averaged 38.7 versus Manchester City at home, 33.7 versus Chelsea away, and 33.2 versus Brentford away from home. Do you know what the common denominator is? They won the games. So what does that tell you? That manager, in those kind of games he won, he was happy to waste time and dark arts and things, which you have to do. Why would you want to make it an open game? You have to be a bit street smart and take this thing out of games in which Chelsea and City have been praised for. And any team that wants to progress from the Championship to the Prem, stay in the Premier League, qualify, in any European competition, potentially win it, you need aspects of this. But again, no, Rob is cool, because what do we say on this channel? Before you point a finger, there's three looking back at you. So before you criticize or you label someone, you should be looking at least 3 points for internally how you can improve or do things better. And this is from a moron. And I don't really care about being called a moron. It just entertains me, mate. It entertains me. But I promise you we're not done. What we need to stop and start for a sec is get into what Michael Owen said, people. I can't pronounce his name. Hürzeler might change his mind if he's going for a title. Then any old win will do. Listen, Arsenal have played well for the vast majority of the season, and it's the oldest saying in the football book. Sometimes you got to win playing ugly. Facts. Arsenal have done that as well this season, and fair play to them. They're finding a way of winning. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's other things that are broken that need fixing. And again, Arteta, you need to win this thing, because we've tried. Well, we ain't played attractive football bar. The first season we fought for the title, but 4 years, 4 different reasons. If it goes left, there's question marks to ask in it, people. So we're not even going to get into that yet. That starts in Arsenal's case with having a very strong defense, a very good goalkeeper, and a very organized defense, a solid midfield. They aren't what Liverpool have been, aren't what Man City have been over the last decade or so. Basically blitzing teams, scoring loads of goals, but also conceding a few as well. So that's not their style. They're well drilled, and as soon as they score, you rarely see them not picking up the points. In recent weeks, we've kind of effed up with that, but generally cool. And I did like the willingness to want to defend and suffer yesterday from Hincapié, from Gabriel Magalhaes, from David Raya, and nothing to scream and shout about with the attackers, bar Saka actually getting a goal. But a bit like the Chelsea game, like when it's in the last 10 minutes, bro, you lot just get the result over the line, which they did, people. Apart from that, when they score, you can just see them shutting out games. They hardly created anything last night, but Brighton didn't really look like scoring either. Brighton had a lot of pressure, but Arsenal defended their box really well. And now there is something where is it gone? Is this it? Sorry, folks. I'm just making sure that, because there's another Google Doc sheet to be going into, people. Let's remove. We're going to go back over this. Don't you worry, because the moron is not stopped. Where is it? How do I? Window. There we go. Let's get this up. Let's zoom in on the Jumbotron, people. Now, I've gone through this so you don't have to, innit? You can see this clock graph in it. It looks great. You can see Arsenal at the top. The only table I'm concerned with is Arsenal being top of the Premier League. But you can see the opponent's defensive line, and you can just see the defensive line. Now, courtesy of ChatGPT, I asked it just to say in basic terms what this means. Arsenal defend very high. You know that. What team don't really? They push their defensive line higher than everybody else. We're not entertaining. We don't want to play. Why are we in your half statistically more? We could just get seasonal heat maps of teams and show you what going on. Teams drop more against Arsenal than anyone else. As you know, we play the highest defensive line in the league, and teams defend the deepest against Arsenal. Now, that is just the beginning, people. Are all 90 minutes equal? Percentage of total match minutes with the ball in play. What do you see? Arsenal are up there. Leeds have it in play more than us. Forest, City, Everton, which I didn't expect to see that. Sunderland, then there's us. So that means the ball is in play less with West Ham, Wolves, Burnley, Palace, Fulham, Liverpool, Spurs, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Brentford, Brighton, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Newcastle. And by the way, I'm not criticizing none of them teams, It's just everybody knows about Arsenal's team. This tells you this tells you why the game is the way it is. But we're not done yet. We're definitely not done yet. Average delay before corners, and we're not perfect. We do delay a lot during corners, which is cool. We're up there. Brighton don't delay. See, you know what I found with this? City and Liverpool are they restart a lot of things. So what does that tell you? Listen, you can criticize, you can do whatever. We're just not alone with all of this, people. So yeah, we do delay around corners. We're up there before, average delay time before corners. When you're the best at it, you can take your time with it, in it, really and truly. But Leeds are there. Liverpool are there. Man United are there. Everton and Spurs are there. Even at the time of making this video, and I know Spurs are playing today, which hopefully they lose. They've got 13 goals from corners. We've got 16. They've actually, a higher percentage of their goals has come from corners than us. So we're the corner boys, and we'll wear that proudly. But they're more set piece FC. Doesn't fit the narrative though, does it? We're definitely not done though, people. Average delay before throw-ins, of course, we're up there as well, people. We're up there. But Brentford take more time. Obviously, they've got a mad thing there. Spurs take more time. Sunderland take more time. That doesn't fit the narratives, though. Delay time before goal kicks, people, which, depending on what metric you actually look at, Brighton are actually top of certain others. But we don't delay that much for all this talk around Ryder. We're near the biggest time wasters in that regards. But Chelsea are not far off. Chelsea are definitely not far off us. Leeds are not far off us. United are near enough with us. Aston Villa, Emre's Aston Villa are up there. Brentford are up there. Burnley are up there. And Sunderland are up there. And let's scroll down a bit more. Before delaying the restart, again, you would think we're bottom, as in bottom being top of this. Look at these things, people. We do delay. But Man United and us are actually equal. Palace are there. Newcastle are there. Chelsea are there. Brighton are actually not that far away. Unless the one thing you're seeing around not delaying is probably Manchester City. And that's actually away from when City were in their pomp. That is actually when they were in their pomp versus now. That's actually something they were good at. They would foul, they would milk the fouls. They would obviously defend and have various systems. They would take the sting out of games. You'd have plenty of midfielders that would up and slow the tempo. This is how you get things over the line. So unless that City have consistently been up there, Wolves probably need to do that or needed to do that a lot sooner, or they wouldn't be where they are. Am I still a moron? And maybe I am, but you mean this moron can look at on stuff online and see a picture? God damn, if a moron saying that, we're really down the shitter. But nonetheless, people. And my last message we ain't done with the last message, but yeah. And I saw this online, yeah, as to why I don't care about refereeing decisions. Over the last 3 seasons, we've seen officials forget to draw the offside lines against us, giving us red cards that we've not seen given before or after. And yet I've seen some of our players come out like this and try and suggest there's an agenda against us. I've never seen my players do the Bernardo Silva thing or the Rodri thing, we'd be killed. And I'm not disagreeing with them. I've seen City get a lot of favourable decisions and things go against us. I've seen us get away with a lot of stuff, but I've also seen us being done dirty. There's a wider discussion to say about refereeing and the consistency. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I don't think they want consistency. It gets you talking, it gets us talking. It's plastered on the line, online and then on TV and all the rest of it, people. And then, granted, maybe the Brighton gaffer was right about something because we statistically wasted the most time in terms of putting the ball in play yesterday, which I'll hold that. Sometimes you got to get your hands dirty to live clean. But when you're taking this into account, it's got something to suggest. Taking all delays into account, Arsenal spent an average of 31.4 seconds to get the ball back into play from corners, goal kicks, throw-ins, and free kicks last night against Brighton. There have been 195 incidences of a team taking longer than this in a Premier League match. This is what I mean. When you say things, make sure you can back it up with some data because you're chatting off people. And yeah, we've gone over that already. Can you look? And I would love to know what because I see a lot of Brighton fans on social media. Oh my God, you Arsenal fans, you can't enjoy this. What about when Saliba's penalty against you lot away? And I'm sure either that same season or the year before, Stamford Bridge, Saliba's penalty was given. We had to suck it up and hold why for that, but we had to hold it. So yeah, I'll give him that. Arsenal did take 30 minutes and 51 seconds to restart play against Brighton last night, which was our highest total. That's testament to you. I know you don't want to hear it and you're frustrated, but we rate what you're doing. We know we're a bit knackered. We rate Brighton. So we're going to respect you in that regard. I've seen teams do this against us. I'm not naive. I know Everton have attacking quality. They're going to wrestle us on set pieces as we're going to do the same. If they take the lead, they're going to try and take this thing out of the game and time waste and milk things. This is football, bro. What am I talking about? So yeah, and for this Donny as well, man, with all due respect, and as someone that does this, I saw this online, somebody tweeted this, with all due respect, and as someone that doesn't want Arsenal to win the league, but enjoy staying at Brighton, then you're basically drawing them out. You're coaching a team that's under no pressure to win, just to steady the team. When you're chasing a title, it's not about how you do it, it's about if you do it. Arsenal are doing that one way or another. We're in game week 29, and he's only, obviously, the Brighton gaffer, won 9 league games all season. He's out of the League Cup, which he was beaten by our academy boys, and he's had his ass slapped 3 times by us. He's not in the FA Cup or Europa. He's sitting comfortably in 13th, in which there was a time I'm sure they actually had 1 win in 13 as well. You've got plenty of time to play attractive football and entertain yourself. De Zerbi played better than him. So there it is, people. It's essentially, it's that. But we're not done. We're definitely not done. We're definitely not done. We're definitely not done. Screen has to get reshared because we did have some tabs to go over, people. So yeah, that was obviously what Mr. Man Michael Owen said, let's get to 50 likes before DG ends to get the dress stream going. What I would say, last night was the first time I've not enjoyed watching Arsenal. We're horrendous last night in possession, especially on the breaks. I did admittedly miss the Wolves game. Yesterday is just a commonality. We've seen this, an indifferent first half, wanting to see a bit more attacking play, all of the things we've been discussing. For me, last night would be the one time I give you an excuse, because the games are coming thick and fast. People are getting tired and whatnot. For me, I just feel the Chelsea game, this game is quick roll around. You had to just get the job done. And it's not just us. You go and look through all of the Premier League games that we've seen in the last 2 days. They've been a slugfest. Wolves, Liverpool, apologies, slugfest. To a degree, City versus Forest. It was just a mental battle. Football's decided at both ends. Can you turn up, get the 3 points and move? And I understand it, Brighton gaffer. Big bad Arsenal was in town. The corner boys were in the building. And you had your all, maybe we are a cup final. You did what Arsenal did when Madrid rolled in town. You got your lights out and the lightsabers are out, Brighton moving mad. I'm sure everybody made sure they were there. And it is what it is, people. So the game's the game. As much as if the shoe's on the other foot, I'd be frustrated if I was Brighton. But it's a necessary evil, man. We are not the only team that finds it hard to create chances from open play, said Arnie Slot. And he ate a bit of humble pie following his comments before the Wolves game and then obviously after. And the Brighton gaffer, listen, Brighton as a club and establishment, what you lot do, your players, what you lot have done. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about your gaffer, He don't like my football club. I said that on TalkSport. He psyched himself out, chatting off his mouth before the game. You're not that guy to be doing all them mind games and whatnot, chatting off your mouth after, What a surprise, as Arteta said. You can talk as much as you want. Winners win, losers explain. Nobody cared when people were doing dark arts against us. When it comes to corners, Ramsdale used to get pushed into his goal 9 times out of 10. Nobody cared when Bellerin basically got knocked unconscious. We were told to shut up and get on with it. The bullied have now become the bullies. Football is stinky in England. It's just Arsenal at the forefront of it. And we're not liked anyways, but that's cool. All this, we're not entertained. Who cares? I want football to reset. Because I'm a football purist on one hand. I like to be entertained, but I'm a bit of a nerd. Like, I like the heat maps and all the data we've gone through. But it's not just an Arsenal thing. This is football. I've seen Arteta moan about set pieces. Arteta moan about set pieces. Slot moan. Pep moan. Who else? Bear Man have moaned about it. Man United have moaned about it. But they've all improved at it. So it's a necessary evil. David Moyes was moaning about us, about wrestling. You saw the United game. The game is the game, bro. It's as simple as that. I'd be vexed as you as Brighton, man. We've shot on the Seagulls 3 times, man. And you know what? I don't know why, but Brighton have just forced this kind of beef with us. And, in the last 20 years, and we still ain't going over the line. It's the results that matter, as you can see in this graphic. Winning is everything. It's all about winning. I mean, they did win the Europa League, but bit rich having a Spurs graphic here. Could put a City fan. Just get the results. Fair play. Now, it doesn't matter that you're winning. The football isn't good. It's boring to watch. Who cares how you play? Who cares what you lot think? Because we can say we don't like the football and all these things. Who cares? What I saw yesterday is what I've seen all season in the attacking regards. And what I've seen last season, of course, we have put some teams to the sword. We have done it in the Champions League as well. So again, and one thing that jars me is people have been saying, not so much now, but people have been saying, oh, Arsenal can't break down low blocks and So why would we not put an emphasis on set pieces? Because obviously we've gone from one end to the other. We can't really do what we're doing. We're getting touches in the box. Goals can break games, innit? We score a goal. We're playing a low block side that wants to defend against us. We score early doors. The game, they now need to come out. They now need to come out. Everybody open up. Everyone open up. Please. Have we missed anything here? I mean, I don't care what their guy was saying, man. Every supporter pays a lot of money to watch our games. Who cares about that? So this is basically regurgitating what we already know. But yeah, furthermore, Arsenal's delays accounted for 30.6% of overall match time, which is the 11th greatest proportion of any team in 25-26. Only one team tried to play football, he said. Apparently, there were a lot of delays attributed to Arsenal because of how the game went. Brighton had more shots, committed more fouls than Arsenal, for instance, and we're going to milk it. I've seen City do that. And the hosts were also shown 4 times as many yellows as Arsenal, so we were a bit more street smart. Fair enough. There were 59 delays registered to Arsenal, which is the 8th most for a team in the Premier League in 2025-26. But many of those were simply down to the simple ebb and flow of the match. Similarly, Arsenal's 12 goal kicks was their most in a top flight game this term because we had to absorb a lot of pressure, rightly so. The fact Arsenal's total number of delays, 59, was obviously high, links very closely to the overall time attributed to their stoppages, which is attributed to 1,851 seconds, as noted before. On average, that translates to 30.4 seconds to get the ball back into play from corners, goal kicks, throws, and free kicks. There have been, once again, 195 incidences of a team taking longer than this in a Premier League game, man. Yeah, I mean, we weren't trying to attack. Gyökeres is just going to have to be a workhorse in that regards. But I'll back everybody at the club. Just get this done. But DG, I feel like this media narrative is going to have us penalised in the champs when we manhandle European teams. We're just going to have to get on with it, bro. Like, reality is, what can we do? It's never going to be fair. If life was fair, we'd have a lot less, man. You guys read that the Hincapié deal was actually permanent. I mean, it was bait. It's set up like Raya's loan initially, where it's a loan in all but name. Big up Rainmaker. Acting like we don't got 4 and 3-0 wins last month. It doesn't fit the narrative, bro. I can't wrap my head around players like Rice not being able to pass the ball straight or Gyökeres not knowing how to run at players with the ball. Defense wins titles, though. That's what we did. Our attack needs to click. Arteta, there's what you need to do. And you look through our attack. It's not that I don't believe in you lot. Saka's the only one I'm like, yeah, cool. Eze's not doing it. Generally, Eze's not, well, Saka's not doing it this year, but historically I've believed in him. Only surprise has been Trossard's form, which has kind of teetered out. So maybe there's something in recruitment. Obviously, the players need to pull their fingers out. So yeah. And even in the Chelsea Brighton games, we haven't had much to scream and shout about. But I think for us to go from beyond the obvious, to go from a good team to a great team, it's what you do with the half chances. So, like, remember Chelsea? Again, I'm not saying these are clear cut, but Zubamendi skied, Rice has skied, couple of opportunities like that. The Brighton game, there therefore wasn't that many opportunities for us. Saka's put a ball into the box. Could his decision make? Could he have gone for goal? Could somebody have got in the box and had a tap in? Kai, I think, could have scored. Trossard with a horrendous cameo, anyways, but an horrendous effort where he's pinged it with his left. It's these kind of moments I need us to kind of capitalize from, man. The boys are learning. But for me, what I liked last night, the organization, I saw them when we were getting peppered. The boys seemed calmer, as they should, man. Like, to me, as a naive fan, it looks like you've definitely trained more on the defensive art under Arteta than the attack, really. So it is what it is. DG, these guys are clowns. They're just background noise. Simeone and Marino examples, titles are undeniable. For me, you've got to win trophies, man. Not even mad about what the Brighton gaffer said. Not saying we're angels, but it just feels like they're trying to jump on a hype thing, as the story is now we play dead football, so we don't deserve the Premier. Bro, who cares? Because they said it about City. If we've been dead and we win it, what does that say about the other 19 teams? You lot sort that out over the summer. Let's make sure we're at a parade and then we're going City Splash and we keep it moving, bro. Simple as that. But what does come with that is there is a target on your head. And for the gaffer and the boys, you have to win it. Because for me, I've been, some of you that every year, we're saving ourselves for the second half of the season, which I think you lot are blissfully naive. It's still not clicked in the Prem. I've not seen it on a consistent basis. Now, at this point, it is now just about winning. So I've kind of given up on that, man. Took me all the way up to last year to truly grasp that finger point. Boy, fair enough, you got there, man. Be salty. Managers should be sore losers, bro. You should be. Man couldn't even get his players to score one goal in their own stadium and wants to blame us. We did the beautiful football thing. Didn't work for us for decades. Can we get this trophy winning ugly, then do aesthetic stuff after? Exactly. And for me, like, if we were to assume, like, by God's grace, we win the Prem and a couple trophies or just the Prem, assume that everything we've been talking about and this whole everything, all the winning, losing, drawing, all the talking points with us in City, that the same thing happens next year. I do think in this running, it's not that there won't be nerves and tensions, but there'll be an element of we'll be a lot calmer because there's not that itch on your back that's been there for 20 plus years. Because again, you're human. The players and the fans are human. There's going to be nerves, excitement, everything is how you control it. In life, there's nothing wrong with being scared, There's nothing wrong. I don't know about you. There's many in life. I've been scared many a times in some serious situations. The problem is when you let fear consume you. You need to run towards it. If life is, if it's a life or death situation, it's fight or flight needs to be activated. Are you going to curl into a ball or you're going to fight back? Would you rather die on your feet or live on your knees? Simple as that. Sean Dyche played that way for 10 years for Burnley. He managed to keep that squad in the Prem from playing a low block. Didn't see people complain about his style. And that's true. And obviously, he couldn't help Nottingham Forest. But Look at the way Company bopped the championship. And again, Company's Burnley went down, and not big him up. He's at Bayern Munich. If Arteta was to leave, I wouldn't mind Company at all. That kind of naively shagged Burnley. It didn't keep you in the league, but you entertain people. I think Leeds, as a neutral, are one of the most entertaining teams in the Premier League because of their sort of team. They could be 3-0 up in minute 90, somehow lost it 4-3. I don't think their fans want that. Sunderland, one of the best, most enjoyable teams. A lot of the dark arts don't get spoken about with them. But if they were a bit naive defensively, for all the plaudits that you'd probably more put on what they do in midfield and up front, where would they be? It doesn't make sense. Where would, obviously, Brentford have been a lot better than just, long throws. But if I couldn't tell you how many points or goals they've scored, which has won them and nicked them points off the back of that long throw, where would they be? Because they're up there for set pieces. Their guy, Keith Andrews, was a set piece coach. He'd be an idiot to try to not leverage that, especially in this climate. The stats can't be argued with, though. He was talking about time wasting. We ain't that team. We're winning boring and stressfully, but we ain't a time wasting team. But we should be. Everybody wastes time, bro. You have to waste time, fam. It is what it is. I'm desperate for Max Dowman's show at Mansfield DG. He has to arrive. Cannot wait any longer. Arteta's next rise should have a mercurial talent in his side. I would love it. He was on the bench against Brighton. I start him. Sometimes we Mayweather the thing. Sometimes we might Tyson the thing. They're mad because we've learned to combine two styles. I still think we could get better at the Mike Tyson thing, but I hear it. By hook or by crook, Charles, man. Hugo, one love, and everybody else, one love. There has been some Elliot Anderson links, but yeah, glad these Seagulls got packed. Hürzeler bird shit for brains with his complaints. I find it so funny. People like Alan Pardew, never won the league as a player or manager, speaking on the way Arsenal are going about trying to win. A lot of them are dishonest, bro. A lot of them, you're in the media. As someone that kind of works in the media, I can tell you for free, there's certain things that are scripted, they're engineering stuff. I get it. You want your gigs. And Alan Pardew, I see that talks all the time. You're a decent fellow. Where's the list of titles with an asterisk on how the football is played? Exactly. You can't tell City fans anything about 115 charges. I remember when Liverpool won their first title, well, they've won two, but Slot won one, Klopp won one. They were saying, oh, it's VAR, it's COVID league and whatnot. Who cares? It just seems like sour grapes. But yeah, Charles, when you find out where the list of tables with asterisks on how football was played, let me know, please. Because when only us and Barcelona were playing the beautiful game, we were told we're naive. That led to Wenger's demise. Wenger came to this country, and you know me, I love Arsene Wenger with all my heart. But what got him here and what he was known for led to his demise. He could see where the game's going tomorrow by being in the present, the scouting, the football, recruitment, all of that jazz. We didn't adapt on the pitch defensively, being a bit stronger in physicality, which that was a key part of Arteta's profile that we're doing. We didn't adapt to that. I'm not saying you have to work with bare super agents and all of that stuff, but in terms of recruitment, we didn't adapt to the current times. So that paid. I thought Eze was one of the few who looked like he knew what he wanted to do with the football last night. Zubi and Rice were sloppy in possession. Martinelli and Gyökeres need to shape up. Havertz good. Havertz very good apart from the goal. Eze, for me, is a bit indifferent from Eze. Zubi looks knackered, but it wasn't anything to scream and shout about. Rice, he was giving the ball away a number of times, but he was winning it back. The one thing I'd say with Rice, when it comes to seeing out a game, he gets this weird, he's got two lungs in it. Wait, you only have one set of lungs in it. I don't know, man. I should have listened in science. I did pass, but it's like he's got two lungs and he just goes up the gears when it's time to just, boom. For me, Magalhaes, Raya, Hincapié, big up Jurin Timber for his contributions on the goals and assist front as well. People said they liked another 2 games of the spin. I'm gassing my defenders. And, our defenders are the ones this season. 9 games away from seeing my first PR. I love it. Calm down, man. Calm down. We ain't done it yet. Because when you actually look at it, we could, it could actually be eradicated to 1 point, assuming we lose over there. Now we need to do the Crawford thing. Just get the title over the line. Big up Rants. No Rant slander. Hey, Rant. Boy, all of a sudden, the last few weeks, I ain't got no show. Big up Rants, but there's no show. What's going on? The team lost yesterday in the 9th minute. My team have got 3 on the spin. There's no show. What's going on? I bet you there's a show when Arsenal drop points, though. But yeah, big up yourself, Kojo, as well. But yeah, we got to keep it moving, people. So yeah, we know how this script went. I'm going to ask Jess her thoughts. Arsenal have 10 Premier League games. Well, have won 10 Premier League games by a 1-goal margin this season. United away, Newcastle, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth, Chelsea at home, and then Brighton again. Oof. You know what? Big up the away games, because regardless, you did it. First game of the season, we did it. Old Trafford ain't kind to us. Newcastle always nasty. I said this yesterday when we done the late night stream. Big up everyone. I'm happy we got that one when we did out of the way, because that was, I mean, we've heard it every week, innit? But you got to win this. You're gonna, if you got to win at these grounds, if you want to win the league, it's a cup final, it's make or break, and all this kind of stuff. And to be honest with you, I know we have battered Leeds. I'm sure we beat up Nottingham Forest at home. You know, we've Burnley as well. We've dealt with 1-2 teams. But in terms of what I want to see across 90 minutes from the manager and the players, especially reacting to setbacks, because we went a goal down, substitutes making an impact, you know, controlling the controllables. We should have had a penalty for Gyökeres. It wasn't given. We went a goal down. We made a mistake. Everything from start to finish were good. Everything I want to see, I saw in that Newcastle away game, obviously apart from conceding. I don't think there's too many times. I'm scratching my head for that. Champions League, there's bare in it. Up until we play Leverkusen, like we've perfect in it, which hopefully that continues. So yeah, Brighton, Wolves, we didn't. This is what I mean by there's games where you need to learn from. I don't think we learned from the Wolves game in that regards. Everton, big up Gyökeres for the pen, if I can remember correctly. But yeah, man, and big up Magalhaes, man. He made 14 clearances against Brighton. No Arsenal players made more in a single Premier League game across the last 10 seasons. Going down as an Arsenal legend if he does what needs to be done. Can't not hail up Hincapié. Some of you were forcing the Bozo gene. Obviously, Calafiori could have been one of our players of the season. He got injured in February, and Capié's ran with it. Raya's got 14 clean sheets, and he's had a good reaction since Wolves away. So yeah, you have to big up Raya. Arsenal won without a corner. City only gained a point because of a corner. We can all be silly. And I'm not going to read this out yet, but this is more for Jess. I just think Zubimendi's knackered. It's not an excuse. I just think the guy's knackered. If there was a sour thing, is still no update on Odegaard, Ben White, and I think we've become accustomed. Maybe I'm making this up, but we're going into games and now Saliba's not there and all these kind of stuff, man. So yeah, Injurie and Timber has been directly involved in more goals than any other defender in the Premier League, with 8, 3 goals and 5 assists. And in his last 3, Spurs away, Brighton away, got 2 assists, and he obviously bagged against Chelsea. So hail up, all right, back, man. What do you lot make of this? Arteta, I don't know if this is true at all. This Donny said exclusive. It could be bullshit, but it's a good talking point. Mikel Arteta could reportedly step down as Arsenal manager if he delivers both the Premier League and Champions League titles. Arteta is to view winning both trophies as the ultimate objective of his project at Arsenal. And achieving that would mark the perfect moment to seek a new challenge elsewhere. Meanwhile, Real Madrid are reportedly monitoring the situation. I wonder if Enrique leaves, would he go PSG? Obviously spent time there as a player. This looks like 100% was, in my opinion, people, but where are you lot at with it? Apparently, Arsenal are making moves for Elliot Anderson. The club believe Rice and Anderson can dominate English football in years to come. Martin Zubimendi and his family will review their position in the summer. Moving back to Spain is not out of the question. I mean, stranger things have happened, but we have been linked with big ticket midfielders. Like, I know it's a bit different, but Morgan Gibbs-White, Morgan Rogers, every now and again, Adam Wharton, Elliot Anderson. I'd have him, especially because you should be at the parade, didn't it, really? I know Newcastle had to sell him for PSR, but I wonder if they wish they kept him, because they've got one of the best trios on their day in midfield anyways, in Joe Linton being made to be a centre mid, obviously Tonali and Gomares. They threw Elliot Anderson into that, boy. The problem is he's going to cost about 100 odd million quid, in it, people, but for what that's probably the going rate. If you're talking about Wharton, Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, he almost went to Spurs, Morgan Rogers, them kind of players. If you ain't got, you could be conservative and say you're probably about a 60, 70 million all the way to 100 odd. There's a decision to make. Arteta is Basque. He wouldn't coach Real Madrid. Maybe, because I know Pochettino, not Basque, but he said he would never coach Barcelona because of his ties with Espanyol. Stranger things have happened. And again, of course, you got to be loyal to your ideologies, but it's Real Madrid. Stranger things have happened, man. I'm still bumping that Cunha track. Hey, Ahmad, where's your goals, brother? Because my team's got more goals from open play than yours. My defenders are scoring more than yours. Stay humble, man. Eze is prepared to sacrifice his game. He was good off the ball last night. But apart from that, boy, Rice like Big Gab, Saliba, Timber, Hincapié, the kind of don you want when it's time to dig in and scrap in the trenches. Facts. Do not go easy on rants next time you see him. United losing felt nearly as good as those points dropped. I don't really care about the football, a victory for football, but yesterday was so good, man. It was so the last two days have been so good, and saving the best till last. Tottenham hotshot against Crystal Palace. Obviously, we got 3 points, got the media on strings. Not that I really care about Liverpool Wolves, but it's funny, isn't it? Liverpool, City have dropped points. Who else? Man United got shagged. You know, Brighton pack. It's lovely stuff. We just need Palace to do us a big favor. But yeah, that's where Adam Water's concerned. Ben White still being linked with Barcelona. I don't know what's going on there. There are some rumors that the club are gonna like. It's nothing to do with Calafiori's. There's a lot of rumors. Arteta and Odegaard bust up. Calafiori has spoken about one day playing again for Roma, but there's some rumors that the club are saying, you know what, can't really deal with this injury thing, and which I think is not wrong. It's not wrong because you've got to be cruel to be kind. But there was a large part of the season Calafiori was staying fit, and then obviously for me, it was February. Since he got injured in February, not much has changed, man, and it's kind of stop-start. We are still being linked with Pio Esposito of Inter Milan. Don't see that. Real Madrid are apparently looking at Max Dowman. I'm not laughing because I think it couldn't happen, but it's like when they were linked with Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Max Dowman is 16. His time will come. Odegaard apparently reportedly intends to sign a new contract at the club, despite rumors from across Europe. He's been linked with Inter and Juventus. There's been rumors of a potential bust-up people. The man's just had a kid in it, and we're looking to extend his deal. He's only started 13 Premier League games this season, which is mad. Gyökeres is nominated for Premier League Player of the Month, in case you didn't know. Arteta held the incredible desire and determination from us people, while obviously speaking about the obvious. Raya's made 100 Premier League appearances for us, and obviously you have to big up Bakayo for 300 appearances for us at, 24, 25? God knows, they grow up so fast. 3 games in April have changed now, people. We now play, well, the times have kind of changed, but we now play at 12:30 on the 11th of April against Bournemouth at home. On the 19th, we've got Manchester City away, so that's changed. That was predictable. 25th of April, 5:30, Newcastle at home. Newcastle scares me. It's a beautiful day, Bakayo, because we've been on to you about scoring goals, man. Yeah, I'm very, very proud, very happy. I'm very blessed. It's a beautiful day for me and my family to top it off with a massive win and a goal. I'm so grateful. Let's just keep going like this. Let's keep enjoying this journey and continuing like this. And he's with some famous people. I had an action before where I thought I could have been a bit more direct. Are you talking about where you put the ball in? When I got the ball next, I said I'm going to be direct and go for it. I did that, cut in and took a shot. I didn't know how it went in initially, but a goal's a goal, so we'll take that. We fought for it in the end. We got the win. We got the result we wanted. Yeah, we just feel good about it. The games keep coming. We keep getting results, and that's the way we need to keep going. We've got another one today, so we're happy. We just need to keep continuing like this. So it's great to be an Arsenal fan. And as I said, I'm planning my parade. I'm trying to hit the City Splash and the parade at the same time, people. So it could be lit, man. Now, he's been nominated. Make sure we get him there, man. One more like and we've got 50. If we ever sell Odegaard, who are the players we can sign to replace him? Well, if football stays like this, I want Morgan Rogers. I know it's not the same, but that you need them dynamic runners. Obviously, they're more than that. Odegaard would be a passenger. Guys like Odegaard, you're not set up to thrive in this current game. Big Gabby, that was immense last night. Even when we had to make changes, he was in command of the team, player of the year. I'd love to see him get it. Cala is quality, but injury prone. Hincapié has definitely locked down the left back position. I think we are going to get penalised in the Prem. This in the Champions League. This agenda will affect us against the European teams. Control the controllables. If you get shagged, make sure. I don't know if we're grappling in the box. They give a penalty and they go a goal up. Make sure you win it 2-1. We need Nketiah in the room tonight. It seems like Palace. Rumors are Palace are going to get rid of him at the end of the season. It seems like Palace fans are quite cheated off. Brighton away at this stage of the season is a tough game. I expected it to be a close game. Excellent defending by the boys. Come on, you Gunners. What more can you see? Did you see what Pascal Gross said about us after the game? No? Pascal Gross, I don't want to hear it from you because you tried to shag Brighton. Brighton are dickheads. This is why any man that takes back the ex idiot because he thought he saw the bright lights on going Borussia Dortmund. It didn't bang. They took you back. What did he say? Keep moaning, man. Insist that fans don't want to see a game of football. Fuck what the fans think. In the second half, we had 2 or 3 chances. So that's all I'm interested in. You didn't take them. We didn't finish the attack. It's the only thing we missed today. We didn't give away many goals. I mean, converting chances is an issue for Brighton. Don't think I don't do my homework on Pagans. A good performance, really good. But in the end, we're disappointed about the result. We found a lot of solutions against them. We created a lot. It wasn't the case today, so we're disappointed that we outplayed them. No words needed for that for Arsenal. I said my opinion on it. I'm really proud of my fans, how they supported us. Everyone can make their own decision, but I'm sure you don't like watching these football games. I made my point, and I think it's a fair point. Football fans want to see a football game, not time wasting. That's great stuff. Not that you lot don't waste time against us. And if that, for argument's sake, in a day and age where everybody can get information, everyone, we're a bit of an open book in that. You knew what we was going to do over there. Yeah. That's all I want to hear, man. Shut your mouth, man. Pascal Gross, you're cool. Just shut your mouth, bro. Morgan Rogers or Musiala, would you choose Musiala? DG, before the season, all I heard was Arteta needs to win a trophy, no matter what, and no excuses. Not once did I hear Arsenal need to play entertaining football. Interesting, that. But yeah, people, we're a minute late for the stream with Jess. As one's gone, our next one is upon us, people. So yeah, appreciate you lot. Smash the like button. We're going back-to-back streams. I'll see you lot in just a sec. Always just like,